be my way.
Your boy.
Hey, K1, let's go.
And we are here talking about Avatar: Way of the Water. This is a special episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is the season finale of Blerd Busters. But we are coming back next year with season 2. As you can see, we got our nice shirts done by, it's your cousin?
Yeah,
right?
Lucky Riley.
Yeah, dope. We finally got some merch. Hopefully got more coming soon. But yeah, let's just get into it. You want to start or you want me to?
Go ahead, I got you. Go ahead.
Okay. Because I really got a lot to say. So the first Avatar came out in 2009. I feel like it was one of those movies that were super significant because I feel like we ain't never seen nothing really like that before, honestly. So I remember the first time I saw it, it was an experience for me, seeing that, just the special effects, the story's kind of cliche, the light savior type thing, but nonetheless, I felt like it was a dope ass movie. And then fast forward to 2022, we have The Way of the Water. I actually watched the first one a few days prior to seeing the second one, so a lot of things I picked up on watching this movie. I would say overall, the movie was, I can't say it was bad because it wasn't. I thought it was pretty good. It's not better than the first one in my opinion. And just because I watched the first one recently, felt like they reused a lot of dialogue, a lot of lines, which I hate that movies do when they do sequels because I feel like it's not needed. As always, I thought the action was great, actually. The story was lacking to me. I just felt like it was lacking. Like I said, the first one, it was very cliche. And so I can't really say too much about the first one, but this one just I felt like it was lacking. It needed something, and like we talked about before we filmed, we felt like it's essentially kind of the same movie. Also with the villain, I hate that they reused the Colonel, which I knew they were going to do because they said they were, and I think that was a big mistake, because why? But yeah, overall I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about it though.
Yeah. Man, I pretty much kind of felt the same way in some parts of it. Did it need, what you said, 09, right? So
yeah.
Did it need 12 years?
Right.
I don't think it did. His biggest thing was like, I'm waiting for technology to get where I need to be at before I make the next one. You look at the movie, CGI wasn't that much different than the first one. You can tell they put more attention to detail for like the water scenes and things of that nature. But outside of that, the technology was there back then.
Right.
So I don't feel like it needed to wait that long. And what we talked about earlier, or whatever. So if they decide like, okay, this one dropped, and then every 2 years we're gonna drop another one. They could have started this back then, and they could have drop the next one in 2011, and then go on so on and so forth or whatever,
right.
And that would have been a good competitor with Marvel, because Marvel had a 10-year stretch.
Right.
Well, nobody touching Marvel. Marvel had the movie theaters on lock.
On lock.
So if Avatar would have followed suit, they would have been neck and neck or whatever, because they would have kept coming out with content or whatever.
Right. But they could have had their own saga, like the
they could have had their own saga, and we would have rolled with it because just like the first one, this one was beautifully shot.
Yeah.
But like Shalon said, a lot of the scenes were literally the same thing from the first one. Like, you got his son learning something new. They go to a new tribe or whatever, and he's doing the same things his father was pretty much doing.
Right.
Learning how to make the halo, learning where the tree is at. Like, a lot of the same recycled stuff or whatever. And my thing is, if we waited this long, give us a different story. I get it. He got kids now.
Yeah,
wow.
right. Right.
Yeah, but you know, but for it to still just be the same thing, like he went from becoming into one tribe to get into another tribe. So what the third one gonna be about?
Right.
Get into a land tribe?
Another land
Like
tribe,
just
right?
like it's like I'm trying to figure out how is this gonna
Yeah.
build up or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like Salam was saying with the, you know, Colonel coming back as the bad guy, which is technically his clone, you know, a clone, you know, into a Navi or whatever.
Yeah.
It's still like y'all could have gave us something else, or y'all could have gave us more of a reason why, like, he wanted to come at him. Like, the clone was really like, okay, I'm born, I really don't know how I am, I'm gonna learn who I am.
Yeah.
Okay, you telling me I need to go kill Jake Sully.
Right.
Like, you know, basically it kind of felt like a Terminator movie. Like,
right.
All right,
Right.
this is your goal, this is your objective, nothing else matters but killing this guy. Like,
right, it's like what, and then it further proves my point that they're gonna end up making him a good guy, because I could see Jake being like, the colonel is dead, you're not him, so you're legit just listen to what people tell you to. They're telling you to go after me. You don't have to do that. I can literally see that shit play out.
Judgment Day.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, what is his motivation other than revenge? And it's not even his revenge. It's like all they did was put Colonel's memories into his brain. That's it. And why? Like, I would have loved, you're on this big ass beautiful planet, this world. You gotta tell me y'all couldn't think of any other villain to have other than reusing the damn Colonel. Why?
Right.
And then the secret son, I didn't really care. I don't know what you thought about that, because I didn't like it.
I don't know. It was just a lot of, for me, it was just a lot of loopholes. Like,
yeah.
You know, I felt like, at least with the scene with, you know, him getting all the kids, they kind of rushed that. So, like, by the time you got down all his kids, like, wait a minute, so which one's the secret? Like, which one's not? Like, it kind of, for me, at some points, it kind of got confusing or whatever. But, you know, even with, what's her name's daughter? The daughter.
Grace's daughter.
Yeah, Grace's daughter. That was literally Sigourney Weaver as a small kid.
Literally.
Like, I think she was still voicing the kid.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
So I was just like,
yeah, is this the same?
Yeah, I was like.
Right. And then, you know, with that, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think what they're going to do is say that she's pretty much a reincarnation of Grace. That's what I think she is.
Not only that, but I think she's, so let's just take it biblical. I think she's like, you know, the female Jesus, essentially, because she has a connection to Awa. So she's able to use things. She's able to move things, you know, through connecting to Awa or whatever. She's the only one that we know that can do that.
Yeah.
So I think somehow she's some type of reincarnate, you know, one thing, whatever have you. So it'll be interesting to see more of her story. But outside of that, that was the only difference.
Yeah, that was legit the only difference. It just felt like everything was the same, essentially. And then I hated that I'm gonna just go back to the whole Colonel thing was just tacky to me. Even when I first heard they were gonna go that direction, I was like, why? Like, there's so many different things y'all could do with this movie. And the fact that he had, like, somehow had this secret son, okay, cool. But it's like, even with that, it was like, you don't know nothing about your dad. You were raised by these people. And then it seemed like in one point in the movie, he started bonding with the guy. And then it's like, then we have to see him go and damn, I forgot what those winged creatures are. And they make the bond and they fly. Eclon.
Yeah, that's so.
Eclan or Eclon. But it's like, why are we seeing this again? We saw this in the first one. Why do we need to see it again? It's like, why?
Right.
It's like,
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, you know, the whole Secret Son aspect was weird because first off, like, who in the world let him hit? That was my concern. Like, to be honest, you know, the Colonel don't look like he the type to ask.
Right. So what really happened?
Yeah,
you know what
that's what kind of worries me. Like, you know, like, who did he have a child with? And, you know, I don't know. But, you know, the whole thing with the Secret Son or wherever, he wanted to be a part of the Na'vi. So, to be honest, I thought they was going to pull the same thing they pulled in the first one and make him a Na'vi or whatever.
Right.
They didn't. He's just still a human trying to, you know, keep up with the Joneses or whatever. But, you know, like, for me, for that kid, I'm like, you ain't really got no attachment to him. Like, I don't understand what's the connection. Like, you know, like, like even like towards the end or whatever, like at first when they captured him or whatever, he ain't like it, but then they kind of
Yeah.
became buddy
Yeah.
because he was teaching him the way of the Davi that he'll never know
Yeah.
until he becomes one or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just interesting to see because at the end of the day and whatnot, like not only did the Colonel come back, but his whole crew came back.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, so y'all already bringing the Colonel back, but his whole crew, the same
was, right.
bunch of bandits he was rolling with, y'all bringing them back too.
Right.
So that was I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, and then it's like now, so y'all ain't. I forgot what the mineral or whatever they were trying to mine, and it cost like trillions of dollars on Earth that the tree was sent on. So y'all ain't fucking with that no more. Now it's some brain juice from a whale that makes humans live X amount of time longer. It's like they didn't even explain, and I get it, this is supposed to be broken up into like X amount of movies, but it's like there was no context how we went from this to that, like
right.
The fuck, like yeah,
because at the end of the day, Jake and his tribe, they kicked them out, they kicked the humans out. Then the humans came back because there was more resources that they needed or wanted or whatever.
Right.
But it's like,
right.
it's like it's some plot holes in that.
Definitely.
So they kicked y'all out. Y'all came back. Y'all didn't become stronger. Y'all just start doing other stuff or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know.
They came back, and then that's my whole gripe about, and they're humans, so they're dumb as hell. But it's like, you come here, you want to live on this planet because Earth is dying, which we don't know why or how, what happened. They didn't explain that. But when they land, y'all burn up miles and miles of land. So the fuck are y'all doing?
All of it.
Right.
Burnt up.
Right. Everything just got damn burnt up. So it was just a lot of shit. I wish they would have dived further in. And then another thing that I hated is that we spent like an hour of the movie with Jake's son and this damn whale. Now I get it, the whale did play an important part of the story as far as like, because he was whooping some ass at one point in the movie. That whale was going came through, like seriously.
Because I mean, of course, I was laughing to myself because I was just there. It was just me by myself or whatever. So when I seen that whale and he was getting mad because he was banished because his folks was like, nah, you ain't supposed to be fighting people or killing people whenever you did it. And then when Jake's son was in trouble, he's like, man, fuck, man. Man, I don't know what to do, man. I can't just let him go out like that, man. Man, fuck it. Just came through across the ship. I was like, shit.
Right. Dude, this damn well took someone's arm off,
man.
like.
I almost forgot about that. That shit was wild.
That shit was wild. The
wild.
whale was the MVP of this movie for sure. Like, he was kicking some ass. So like,
came for blood.
Right. So they were, but I just still don't feel like they needed an hour to build that relationship out. I felt like it was just unnecessary, and I don't see how that was essential to the plot other than the damn whale helping at the end of the day in the fight. It's like, what other purpose? Unless I'm tripping, like, what other purpose was that? I don't know.
Well, I know they kept. I said well, not well.
Right.
But I know they kept referencing like the Water Tribe people, like they were what they call soul sisters with the whales or whatever.
Yeah.
I know that was a thing. That was a big playing point. Like the Queen, she had a soul sister, and then Jake Sully's son ended up being a soul brother to that whale or whatever. So it's like there was a connection there, and I'm assuming they're all connected to that tree. So so like how they have it in their hair, the whales have it inside of their mouths or whatever. So it's like there's some connections there that I guess they'll explore later on. But that's what I saw.
Yeah.
But
I felt like they could have did, like, I'm fine with that. Like, I'm cool with that because I thought that was pretty cool. But it's like the whole Jake and the son bonding. I just felt like what. Give me like 20 minutes maybe. Like, this kind of set that up. But just an hour of like, he just kept being around this damn well. I'm like, bruh, why?
Yeah.
Like, and then I don't really get like the backstory. I feel like, me personally, I feel like the backstory of that particular whale wasn't really needed. And I'm trying to think, was it needed or not? Because I'm trying to think what significance came out of that. Like him, I guess, feeling like he turned on his own kind and.
I don't know if I can explain it well enough. Because he was instrumental in bringing the whales back. I guess for a while they weren't there or around the water tribe or whatnot. So at some point, I think the son's connection to the whale is what brought them back or whatever. I could be reaching on that a little bit because I'm still not quite sure.
I'm trying to think, but then the chief's wife, because she had the one that got, because her soul sister ended up getting killed. But remember, she was saying like they talked about their babies,
Yeah.
and so they had to still be coming there though. Those whales.
Well, they were catching up essentially. So when the whales came back, they was all catching up. Like, oh, you got a baby, I got a baby too. And
right.
They were catching up. So I would probably have to kind of rewatch and see what I missed on that part of it. But that's it really just was like a whole damn family reunion. Because everybody was going to their whales like, oh, it's been a while since I seen you, how you been, and everything like that. I seen you and all that or whatever have you. But like it was funny. There were some scenes with Jake's son and the whale to where I thought the whale was gonna kill him, right? Because he just saved him from another. Was that a whale that was trying to kill him?
Fish thing. I don't
like it was like a hybrid whale shark whatever
thingy,
trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Because to me the whale just looked like a bigger version of it. Yeah. And he ended up scaring that one off. But then the scene where the whale opened its mouth and telling the boy to come in my mouth and pause.
right.
But come and figure out what it is that I did or whatever. I thought he was about to kill him. I'm like, oh shit, because it got silent, the music got changed a little bit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
And they probably low-key did that shit on purpose, like to build the tension. But I low-key felt like that when he first saved his son. Like I was just kind of like, I wouldn't be surprised if he did try to do something, but of course he did it. But right, I definitely felt those vibes. But I don't know. I just like I'm with you. It's like, yay, y'all got kids, cool. But I guess for this movie they were trying to focus more on the kids and his family, which I did love. I thought their family dynamic and showing their family and kids and how Jake is as a dad and the struggle with him trying to be a father to his son that just wasn't listening to him, and then you have the other dynamic with his oldest son, which essentially was the perfect one.
Son.
Yeah, I thought that was really beautiful to see.
He didn't have to die, man.
I was gonna say that I hate that they did that because I felt like it wasn't needed. And then I actually cried in that part. I thought it was like super sad.
It got emotional.
Yeah. I would say I told Steph, I was like, this movie's sad as fuck. like damn, everybody's crying and Grace's whatever the fuck, I don't know. I forgot her name. Kiri, whatever. Like when she got knocked out and she woke up crying, I was like, oh my god, like everybody's just. It was just sad. It was sad. It was definitely a lot of
heart wrenching scenes in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind the emotion to it because you didn't get that from the first one. I think that's what makes those two different. You didn't get all that emotion from the first one. All it was Jake's struggle and what he had to do to get to where he, he was or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day or whatnot, the oldest son or whatnot, he did everything he could to please his dad. He acted as the perfect soldier. He acted as the perfect son or whatever have you. And, when it finally came to the final scene to where he was trying to save his brother and his brother still wasn't going to do hood rat shit.
Yeah, right.
I was like, God damn, bro. Like, now you gotta be on the t-shirt because your brother won't do
right. Right. And that's what pissed me off. It's like, and that's another thing. I low-key felt like they went overboard with the son that doesn't listen. Because it kind of got to a point where I started really getting annoyed. I'm like, nigga, stop. Like, what the fuck are you doing at this point?
People are dangerous.
Just stop. But that scene with his brother, the last final scene before he died when they went in together, I had a feeling something was going to happen to him. Yeah. I called it. I was like, he's about to die. Something finna happen. And sure enough, something happened. I'm like, well, shit, he got to live this for the rest of his life. Essentially, it's kind of your fault. Like... Like
if the younger brother would have died, it wouldn't have changed the movie, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the older brother, he had problems. You could see, like, hey, push come to shove, he's gonna be the one to do, whatever it takes
future
to.
chief.
Future chief type stuff, whatever. So, like, his death was just like,
Why?
but like you said, you saw it coming, and then the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm watching, I'm like, damn, y'all not about to kill him.
Y'all not about to.
Y'all about to kill him, ain't you? Like, shit.
When I saw when he was holding his son, he jumped in the water. I was like, he got shot. I was like, so they either he's about to die, or he's gonna get really hurt. And then when he ended up, I was like, are y'all serious? And I would say though, Zoe Saldana, amazing acting in that part. Like I was waiting.
Boy.
Yeah, like that whole scene, her like yelling. I think that's what got me with her yelling out like that. I was like, oh my god. And then the next scene where they both like lost their shit. Really, her like she lost her shit, and they're murking. Right, and they were murking everybody on that damn shit. Like that shit was crazy.
Man. Well, what killed me in that scene or whatever, she's trying to process my son is dead.
And you saw, I was like, I was waiting, because you know, I'm always like, when something traumatic happens, like that, when someone dies, I always wait for the appropriate reaction, because I hate when people don't give it enough. And I was noticing that, I was like, she's either processing it or they just failed me. And then when she was like looking like, kind of like, and it clicked, and she started just yelling out, I was like, that's when I was done, like tears started falling. I was like, holy shit.
Not even that. She didn't even get time to grieve. Like, basically Jake was like, I know our son dead, but we gotta go save our other child.
Wild. Yeah.
Like, it was almost like we ain't even got time to grieve. We gotta save our other kid to make sure they don't die. It's just like, bro, fuck. Like, I'll just, like, take that time, but,
It's like, I get what you're saying, yeah. I felt like that, because I was just like, damn, like, you can't even. But I think what I liked about that is that you could see in her face, like, he was like, listen, come on, snap out of it, please. And she was just kind of like, she had like this dead look in her face, and she was like,
dead. Like, even when they went out to go fight everybody on the ship, bro, dead.
Yeah.
Like, and I think, I don't know, in a sense, I feel like Jake kind of wanted her to use that rage. Like, if you need to use it for any time, you need to use it now. Because, even when he met her in the first movie or whatever, she was always a warrior. She was always down to do whatever she could to fight a battle. And, I don't know, just like when it came to that, she was like, because she already didn't want to move. Yeah. Like, it really followed them like a real life family moving to another town type story. She already didn't want to move in a new place. They got to learn new things. And, she's trying to keep up with all her kids or whatever and figure out what's going on. And then, boom, son dies. And now in her head, she's thinking, like, I knew we shouldn't have fucking moved here. Now we dealing with all this shit. And, here we are. But at the end of the day or whatever, like, the little one, she was real cute.
Yeah, she was super cute. Yeah,
like I gotta find the actor that played her, but she was real cute. Like there were some scenes with her where like she was on go for everything.
She was just chilling, like it was almost like she was just happy to be there, like happy to be along for the ride. Yeah, that's why I said I loved like the family dynamic. I think that was very well done. Even with I'm just gonna say Grace. Even with Grace being adopted, essentially, I thought that was beautiful because they didn't treat her like she was adopted. He was like, "This is my daughter." Yeah, and I love that she recognized that Grace's avatar was essentially her mother, type thing. So yeah, I mean, there was definitely some things that were very beautiful about the movie for sure. Another thing that really got me is this Terry threatening to slice up old boy.
She ain't get two fucks.
You did?
She ain't get two fucks. She like, nah, like I'm dead ass kid. Like her whole thing through the movie, like he already ain't one of us.
Yeah, she already felt
like she's like he already ain't one of us. I will kill him right here.
Yeah, right.
Like, if you got a connection to him, I will kill him. Right. Let go of my child, or I'm killing your child.
She
like you make your move. When she said I will cut, I'm like, damn, she ain't taking time to put out the full shit. She said I will cut. Like, God damn.
That shit, I was just like, I was like, see now, I don't know if they trying to set up where the spider would probably be like, well, damn, like, fuck, I should team up with my damn dad. But I would have not been surprised, and I would have been like, well, you did kind of slice old boy, but, I guess they threw me in for a loop when he decided to just say, like, fuck you, I'm not coming with you. But I was like, damn, you had to save him, like.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like I said, throughout the movie, even Jake, like, they didn't really they looked at Spider as just somebody that just hung around their kids or whatever. They didn't really treat him as a son. I mean, they knew he wasn't going nowhere because he was cool with their kids or whatever. But at the end of the day or whatnot, when it came down to saving him and him decided to choose them over his father or whatever, they was like, all right, a son for a son. And it was like, but he was always around. I mean, y'all never did not have him. Y'all just didn't treat him as such.
Yeah.
You know, now I think the only thing that's going to solidify anything is him to actually become Navi, or he end up siding with his dad later on in the other, movies to come. So.
Right. Yeah, it's a bunch of different ways they can kind of go about it. Because I'm with you. Like, I low-key thought, like, that he was going to side with his dad at the end of the movie after she cut him. She actually cut his ass. And then was like...
She don't give a shit about him.
Yeah, and then his dad was like, no. I was like, oh, shit. But, I don't know how they would go about it. I don't know if they they actually do team up at some point. I do feel like they're definitely probably going to cut ties with him after they find out that he saved him. I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen in the next one. And they probably be like, "Well, fuck you, get the fuck out. Like, why would you save him? He did." So, yeah. I guess in that aspect, I guess I'm looking. Well, not looking forward to. I'm interested to see how they go about it for sure. Yeah.
I mean, with this one, the next one will drop. It's 2022, so the next one will drop in 2024.
I believe so.
And there's 2 more after that.
Yeah, he said he's fine with stopping it at 3, I guess, if it makes sense. But if he can do 2 more, he will. I feel like at this point, I'm kind of over Avatar. I feel like he missed the window when everybody was hyped about it. When it first came out, people were hyped about the movie. And I feel like he missed an opportunity to, like we said, build, like, his sort of saga universe.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And it's like, now it's kind of like, I feel like, I don't know, I didn't check how it's doing, but I feel like it is doing pretty well. So I don't know.
I mean, I haven't looked too deeply into it. I know it was mixed reviews. I try not to look too deep into it before we did this, so we give our honest review as far as how we felt about it. But, I mean, again, like I said, they could have dropped it way before now.
Yeah.
And if, like, I was expecting more story.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like after 12 years,
this is it.
yeah, like, and like, as I said before, the CGI wasn't totally crazy compared to what it was before. Like, and I actually went to go see this one in 3D just off the strength because I seen the first one in 3D. Yeah. But even seeing it in 3D, now I will say, if you go see it, I would say do IMAX 3D. I did the real 3D. That's a little different. Yeah. But I know IMAX is sharper. But the CGI, the 3D didn't really get good until towards the end of the movie for me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would say the water looked like actual water.
Yeah.
Like, I think, I'm with you, I don't think it was too crazy from 2009. I mean, yeah, you can see some pores on the damn Navi's face and shit, but, like, I didn't think it was too, I don't think, like, because his whole big thing was I gotta wait till the right technology comes around. Like, I have to keep, it's like, no, you legit can put this out in 2011. And
you had it. Because, like I said, and I go back to this with Marvel, going as hard as they was going or whatever, the technology was there or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was just a certain thing he was looking for, but the technology was there because when he said he was waiting, I thought he was maybe waiting on 8K or something like that. Like, oh, okay, like man, I get it. You wait on 8K, you want to be sharper, blah blah blah. But that wasn't he did.
I think he got in his head maybe because I feel like he's probably thinking, oh, this big movie, it made the highest selling movie of all time. I gotta keep waiting. I gotta keep setting the bar. It's like, no, just put it out. Like, ain't nobody was.
Run that shit, man.
Right. It's like, we damn 2022 and you just not putting out this shit. It's like, the hype is kind of done. I know there's a lot of people, like, my dad was like, he's like,
yeah.
He was like, tell me what happened, because at this point, I'm like, I'm not going to go see it anytime soon.
I mean, because like I said, I think a lot of us just seen it off the straight because the first one was so good. We're going to see it. Like, we're not going to not see it. We're going to want to see it and make sure and see if it was everything it claimed to be.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't.
Nah.
Unfortunately, it really wasn't. But, like I told somebody before, because somebody wanted my review, and of course anytime I have a review, I'm not giving y'all nothing until I drop it on the show.
Right.
But I gave them a non-spoiler. What I was like, if you enjoyed the first one, you'll enjoy this one. That's all I can really say. Like, I can't say it's better or worse, but if you like that one, you'll enjoy this one.
I will say it to me, it started off a bit slow, and for me to see that, because I enjoy just dialogue and stuff like that. But I feel like it was just, and then a lot of scenes in the movies was just like them showing us scenery and stuff like that, which is cool, but like, okay, we get it. It's a beautiful world. We seen all of this shit in the first one. It's like, I just felt like the story was just lacking. And I feel like they could have did better with the villain. I think that was the biggest gripe for me. It's like, why?
Yeah. Because, I mean, even in this newer movie, they were going to some of the same landmarks that was in the first one.
Yeah.
But, you know, like you said earlier, like when the Colonel went up to, you know, do the Halo with one of the things, same place.
Right.
I remember this spot. Like, it was almost like going to a place I've been to before. Like, oh, yeah, I remember this place. Like, went there, got his ride, and the rest of them got theirs as well or whatever. But, you know, like I said, if you're going to show us a world, show us some new parts of the world. Like, even the water tribe in their place wasn't that crazy. Like, it was just an island and water.
Yeah, they got they got their own AWA under the water. Like, yeah, it was nothing. It wasn't nothing spectacular, and that's what I feel like they should have put more of their energy at. And even with, to your point with the Colonel, you know, on top of the Eclans or Eclan or whatever like that, I was like, so is that easy for them to ride these things like that? Like,
the way Jake went down, bro, like,
right,
it wasn't that easy.
Right. They just jumped on, like, it was just, I'm like, how? Because Jake prior to that was training to get to that point to even be able to go against one of these things. Like, how the fuck?
He took the toughest one.
Yeah. See, it's like a lot of plot holes. Really, I don't think that was needed anyway. That whole scene wasn't needed. It just wasn't.
Right. Because, I mean, basically what they said was, oh, you can skip all that training shit.
Right.
Like, like, you know, y'all can put Luke Skywalker. You ain't got to do nothing.
Right.
Just
you good. Just hop on it. Yeah.
You know, but it really did kind of make Jake Sully's, you know, journey feel like, nonchalant. He went through so much shit just to finally get up there and be like, all right, this is the last test. If you do this, you're one of us.
One of us.
He did it.
Yeah, and they just did it like it was nothing. It definitely devalues what Jake went through and how they built it up to be. Like, it's supposed to be something hard to do, and they just do it. I don't know if they were trying to play off his military background or some shit, but I was right, and I'm like, but one thing I'm wondering what they do is, do they ever return home? Because Jake gave up being chief to someone else, so it's like, do they ever come home? Does he ever become chief again, or like this is like a new normal for them? Like, what happens?
I mean, like I said before, if this is gonna be something that branches out in the other movies, I'm assuming they're gonna meet other tribes.
Yeah.
Now, are they gonna go through the same thing? Hopefully not.
I hope they don't do that.
But you know, to be honest, at the end of the movie, if he decided, hey, I'm gonna take my family and move back to my tribe, he could have done it, because the only reason they left was because the colonel and all that was after them.
Right.
That's the only reason why they moved over there to the water tribe or whatever. So it's like, end of the day, you really just going back home because they coming for you regardless or whatever. So like.
And then the other thing pissed me how easy it was for them to find. It was something, they had their two human friends come and help Grace out. And then I think something with the plane, they got a signal off of that. I'm like,
send all the plane going there to help out.
I'm like, when they prepare for something, like, they ain't got, like, there's no masking, like, they can't disguise, like, I don't know. It was just really easy for them to find, because I feel like that didn't happen, would they ever have been found?
And, I mean, to your point, like, the guy that came down, you know, that was the friend that knew more about the Navi than he did.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But I feel like, or maybe I'm wrong, I feel like in the first one, he, you know, was with the tribe as well. So you would think if he was with the tribe, he would get one of those Eclans as well or whatever. Like, he would learn their ways, you would think. Maybe I'm wrong.
I know what you're talking about. I don't think so, though. I don't think he went through to become one of them. I know he fought alongside of them, but I don't think like he went through like with Jake actually become one of them. I think he kind of was like a Grace, like, you know, she was welcome around them, but she wasn't like a part of them essentially. That's what I'm thinking.
Right, but I mean, in the first one, he was like, I know more about them than you do. I've been trained for this and all that. You would think after that time he would have tried. He would have became a part of that tribe, and then therefore, you know, that's where it will open up. Okay, I wouldn't have to use a plane. I get one of the Eclans could fly down there and see what's going on or whatever.
Right.
But that just sounds too much like right.
Yeah, because I mean, he still is in his. He still has his human body too
Right,
as
he
well.
didn't
So.
make the change well. Which
Right.
I thought he would probably make the change because he
That's what I
wanted to
thought
be
too.
a part of it. He know their language and everything.
Right.
Jake had to learn their language.
Right. Yeah, I would have thought so too. Maybe he just was like, I'm fine with just being over here. Y'all can be in the forest and shit. Like, I'm good. Type thing. But yeah, that whole thing, I was like, damn, it's that easy for them. Oh, you gotta signal off of a plane down, and I'm like,
we don't know where it lands, but
right.
we know we're going in this area.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just fly the eclons down. It was just like, it was a lot of plot holes, and the story was very much lacking for me, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah. But I think the ending with the funeral and stuff like that with the brother, I thought that was touching. The only thing I didn't like that I thought was kind of corny was you know how at the end of the first Avatar when he's being his I don't know what you call it, but pretty much they're transferring his consciousness into his avatar body, and he opened his eyes. I'm like, did y'all really have to do that in this one? Like, why?
You talking about with the son?
Yeah, like they were listening. They had I don't know what you call it. They stuck their hair.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then he opens his. I'm like,
oh yeah, after he died, and then I took him back.
Yeah.
But I think that was just memories. I'm assuming just memories of him and things of that nature. Or I don't know. Like that part of it was weird to me. I felt like it was just a memory, and they were sharing that memory. Sharing that memory or whatever. So.
I'm fine with that part. I just didn't like that they copied the ending of the first one, like the whole opening the eyes thing. That's another thing. Like we talked about, like, it's just like the same shit. Like y'all couldn't just ended it. I don't know. I don't know who directed it. Well, it was James Cameron. I'm just like, shit, maybe if you had came out with this shit in 2011, you wouldn't have repeated the same shit. Like, why?
You're right. Because at the end of it, he did the whole eye open thing right after he made it.
And it didn't hit like it did in the last one, It just didn't hit. It was just like, why? This wasn't needed. Yeah.
So, I don't know. But, I don't know. I guess partly I think they did that to show like this ain't the end. We got more coming, but it's like, are you gonna fucking do that for everyone? Like
every just open his
movie.
eye. Right.
For the next one, part 3,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was my gripe with the ending. Other than that, I think it is worth seeing if you're a fan of the first one. I don't think it's terrible. Would I see it again? Probably not. But, if it happens to come on Disney Plus and someone's watching it, I may sit down and watch, but I'm not going to actively go and watch the movie again. So,
I mean, for the water alone, when I see it again, because, I got the little colors on the TV so I can change the color.
Yeah.
Like, just for that alone,
just for the aesthetics.
I'll do it again or whatever, but that's just for that. Like, I'm not going out and go pay to see it again or anything like that or whatever, but... like I said, it was enjoyable. Again, if you enjoyed the first one, you'll enjoy this one or whatever. So, I don't think it's fair for people to say like, oh, it was terrible and all that. It wasn't necessarily terrible. It was literally the same thing recycled. Yeah. Just some things added to it, so.
Yeah. And I think people, because I try not to do this, I was like, the first one, in my opinion, even though, like I said, it's the cliche white savior story, I feel like, besides that, it's a very great movie. It's a great movie. And I tried not to be like, he definitely set the bar high with his first one. So it's like, coming into this one, over a decade later, I try not to be like, have my expectations too high or judge it too harshly. I still think it was like, it's a cool movie. I'm not crazy about it. There's some things in there, but they're not major things where I'm like, fuck, this movie is terrible. Could have been better. A lot better, honestly. But,
I mean, if you never seen it or you got a child or whatever that's never seen it or whatever, like, because you got to think it was over a decade ago that the first one dropped or whatever, so a whole new generation has sprung up from there.
Right.
So if you just off the straight, like, hey, I saw this, I want you to see it. I think it's a good. Honestly, I think it's a good family movie. I do think that, like Shalana said, there was a lot of tearjerkers in it or whatever. So, at the end of the day, like, you want to take the family out and see it. that's definitely your movie to see, and just off the straight, your nostalgia from the first one or whatever.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, I would probably, if I had to rate it, probably a soft 7. That's pushing it.
I would give it a 6. I feel safe saying 6. Yeah, it was decent for me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I won't say that it was terrible because it wasn't. It's just there's some things better story. Didn't like the villain. Some plot holes. And I just, like I always say, I hate when movies recycle dialogue. It's like, bro, why? Like, even with the sons on the back of the damn Recline talking to the colonels, and it's like literally the same scene that Terry and Jake had about pronunciation, this one word. I'm like, why is this so corny? Like, why? Just come up with some. Don't even have this shit in there. Just, no. It's why. That's the only thing I didn't like about that whole reusing dialogue shit. I hate it. I hate when movies do that. But yeah,
see, now after her saying that, I think I'm gonna give it a 6.5 now.
Yeah, right.
At the end of the day, it was a safe movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was a safe movie. We're gonna give y'all the same recipe because we know it's not gonna necessarily fail. So it was a safe movie, but at the end of the day, that's what it was really a recycle of the first one. But like I said,
agree.
definitely a decent movie. You're definitely not gonna be, more so disappointed or whatever. Like I said, take the family out to go see it. That's the last movie of the year. As far as movie goes. So like definitely take your family out holiday weekend and go see it, and enjoy the make some memories or whatever. Because like I said, the water scenes were top tier.
Yeah,
that
top
water
tier.
was clear. So if we're talking Aquaman, Wakanda Forever, and Avatar: Way of the Water, Avatar's at the top.
Everybody.
Avatar's at the top as far as the quality of it, and then a lot of those scenes in the water, the actors and whatnot were actually in the water and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that was another thing, because one thing about James Cameron, he's going full send. He's going to try to get as realistic as he can with whatever he's doing with his movies.
Yeah.
So, if, like what we talked about before, we had to rate, like, the type, like, how good the water scenes were. Avatar's up here, Wakanda Forever's right behind him. Then you got Aquaman.
Yeah.
So
Aquaman don't even damn deserve to be on the damn list. But yeah, like as I already knew, like CGI wise and special effects, he was gonna kill it. I mean, I already knew. But like we said, he legit, if he was waiting on new technology, he legit could have put that shit out in 2011, and it would have been fine, honestly.
Hopefully. And we still would have been all like, oh, wow.
Right.
Look at the pretty water. Like,
Right.
So
the concept is dope. You're in this planet, which I feel like it fed off of people's imaginations. Like, how would it be to stumble upon a planet in outer space that has, like, these big blue aliens and this beautiful world and shit, and you got, like, this guy that, it was just a dope concept. So it's like, off the strength of that, it would have been dope anyway.
Yeah.
And I feel like it probably would have been a better movie had he put it out in 2011 versus waiting all this time to do it. It just, like you keep saying, it just felt like a recycled movie. You got the same person who played Grace as a character. You got the Colonel coming back. What else was the damn same? They're essentially, the kids are being trained this time. And even Jake was being trained with the water people. So it essentially was the same movie. It's like, and like you said, it felt safe. Like, we can't really, they could say it was decent, but they can't really say it was trash. So we're going to stay safe and not do anything too crazy,
Right.
And it's like, I would have wanted them to go crazy. Like, do some crazy shit.
The craziest thing in there was when the whale chopped Buddy arm off.
Yeah, that was wild.
I was like, oh shit! Like, I knew the whale was going off, but then when I saw that arm off there, like, when I see the damn rope was on his arm, like, he just kept. He was like, yeah, I'm about to pull this shit out. I was like, oh shit!
And you know what I thought they were gonna do? I'm like, man, I see where they going. I want to see it, but I thought they was gonna do that Disney Plus shit and kind of cut from it and just show the man's face or some shit.
Right.
They showed that shit.
They showed that shit. Now, granted, was blood splattering out of it? No. When you see that shit,
you saw that shit fly. Right.
Like, he was bad. That dog well
Yeah,
upset.
he was going off. That was the highlight of the fight for me. Like, the whale was going the fuck off. I mean, but that's... Oh, shit.
Oh, you good?
Okay.
Still got that one, though.
But that's also my gripe with the Avatar movies. Now, I noticed when I rewatched the first one before going to see the second one, if you notice in the final fights, they'll have, like, in the beginning, all the Na'vi people are fighting. But then when it gets to, like, I guess some of the more critical fights, they're nowhere to be found no more. And they and they did it with this one. I'm like, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, where the fuck is the water people at? It's legit just Jake and his family in the damn whale.
Yeah, because just like the first one, everybody rolled up ready to go, and then they see cuts to the main people, and you don't see nobody else.
No one, that is like it. And I'm like, did y'all run out of budget or some shit? Like, where the fuck is everyone at? Like, everyone is gone.
Because it's like when Grace went to go save, the mom and the daughter or whatever. I'm like, wait, what happened to water shit? She was just over there.
Right.
She could have easily went over there and helped and save them. Like, what happened?
Yeah, I'm so happy you noticed that. Because I'm like, where the fuck is everyone at? They did this in the first one. I'm thinking, is it because of budget or like, it's like they make everyone disappear. And it's just the focal group.
Yeah.
And that's it. Which is another thing you need to fix. Because it kind of, I noticed, I don't know if anyone else, I'm pretty sure other people noticed it, but it kind of ruined the, not experience, maybe the illusion of it, because it's kind of like, it didn't feel like an epic battle anymore. It just kind of felt like, if I hadn't known, if the first part with the water people was cut out, you would have just thought it was a fight between Jake and his family and the Colonel, essentially. It was literally like
if you had no context of what was going on, that's all you would see.
Yeah, and then another thing, you have these water people who can do all this shit. They're flying on these animals. I would have loved to see more shit of them in the water fighting and killing people. Like, we're in their territory and we didn't really see them do shit. We saw them throw a spear or two, but that was it.
Show me sirens.
Right.
I want to see people being laid out to the ocean almost like
that would have been dope.
Yeah.
That would have been dope as fuck. Yeah.
So, shit coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
But that did kind of like throw me at the end. I'm like, y'all out here fighting for y'all fucking life. What happened to the water tribe? Like, what, they just out here with y'all? Like, where's y'all backup? Like, y'all ain't gotta fight this man alone.
Right.
Like,
where the fuck is everyone? Like, everybody just left and went back home.
Right. Like, so pretty much like after the kids got released, they just dipped. Like, all right, cool, y'all got this.
Pretty much, they were nowhere to be found. But I was like, shit, they did that in the first one.
Right.
And I feel like probably some people may not catch it because it's like, but it's like, nah, I definitely noticed that shit. I'm like, they did this shit again.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that, and I'm trying to think of anything else because shit keeps coming to me. I think that's probably my biggest gripes about the movie.
Right. I
hope I don't forget nothing else. How did you like I guess I don't want to, is it animation style if it's CGI still? I guess the character the concept. Let me say this. How did you like how they designed the water people, like how they look? Because they look different from, I guess, the forest Na'vi, and then how they look, like they have like the fin-like limbs, and I thought they looked pretty cool, and I like how they did it.
I didn't hate it, but it gave me Shark Tale.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Shark Tale. I hate to say it, but it gave me Shark Tale, especially with Halle Bailey's character.
Was that Halle Berry?
It was Halle.
Halle
Bailey. Yeah, that was her.
That was her.
Yeah, and it made sense for her to do that because she got Mermaid coming up, so that was her.
And I felt like that was her, but I was like, but no one ain't really saying nothing.
See, and that's the thing. Nothing was really said, but I noticed she was on the carpet a lot for Avatar. I'm like,
wow.
Are you gonna be in this movie?
It looked like her.
Yeah, until I saw her, I was like, yeah, shit, that's her. That's
wow.
She in the movie.
Yeah. I will say this: they did seem more cartoony. Like the Forrest Na'vi, like Jake and all them, seemed more realistic versus them. They seemed very like Disney alien cartoon movie type
Right.
shit. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got off of it.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, you know, there were some things where you saw they added a lot of detail, but then the other things was like, yeah, looks kind of cartoony.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, well, just in general, going back to how, you know, cartoonish the one tribe looked or whatever, you know, like I said, or, you know, what I'm thinking or whatever, I think they put more detail into the water. I think they put more detail into the whales and things of that nature, whatever. They looked real.
Yeah.
You know, they looked on par with the, you know, the Forest Navi or whatever. But, you know, like I said, I honestly think it was a budget. It could have been a budget thing.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to put as much detail into them because you're not going to see them as much.
Yeah.
But, you know, my thing is, if you got a whole training montage,
right.
you might want to fix them up a little bit so we can see what's going on. But outside of that, that's what it was for me. But
yeah, and that's why I was just like, yeah, they seem very cartoon. And I feel like the way they were designed, I feel like they definitely should have went the extra mile to make them not look so cartoony. But they definitely looked straight out of like a Disney Shark Tale movie. Like,
yeah, because the chief looked like goddamn Buddy from Moana. What was
right,
his name?
I know you're talking about right. Yeah, I'm like, I'm like, y'all could have, And then I think my other thing is, how do you feel about we're being black people here?
Okay.
What's your take on, because I had this discussion with someone else, what is your take on them using, since they're, I guess, indigenous people, they have like black hair. What's your take on that? Do you mind it, or because it's like even with Jake having locks, I kind of was like, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. I won't say it bothers me. It's interesting, I guess, that automatically indigenous means right.
I mean, you saying right.
Right.
It is what it is. I mean, you know, when the Navi was presented to us in the first movie, that's what I thought they were. You know? Indigenous people of color.
Yeah.
Literally, what they are, people of color,
right.
whatever. So you know, like you keep bringing up whatever with Jay Sully being so-called a white savior or whatever, but then he got transformed and then became one of them.
Right.
So, you know, at first he was just, you know, acting as them, trying to walk as them, trying to be them, but he wasn't them.
Right.
And so he finally got transformed and got accepted or whatever. But I always looked at them as indigenous. I mean, you know, my head, the dreads was a dead giveaway. Like, these black folks.
Right.
Let's be real, like, these black folks or whatever. So, you know, I didn't necessarily feel away, but, you know, like I said, I felt like he earned his spot. So at the end of the day, you know, he earned his spot. He became one of them, and I thought nothing else of it after that.
Yeah, because I noticed in this movie, like, even with the, I think it was one of the chief's sons, like, he even had, like, that hairstyle that young black boys have today with, like, the sort of, like, the fade and then the curly top. And so, I was just like, oh, well, wow, I don't know, I think it's just interesting, like, how much of we see like ourselves in certain things in Hollywood, and the fact that the director is white, and then you know you see all these black hairs. I mean, even with that Halle Bailey character, now you know I didn't know that was Halle Bailey, but like even with the cornrows and
they had cornrows.
I'm like, yo.
Sure, they had cornrows.
Yeah. So it was just interesting to see. I always ask people, well, what's your take on that? Like, you guys notice that? Like, how do you feel as a black person seeing that? You know, being as Hollywood, and you know, how do you feel about like since they're supposedly indigenous, that they automatically are supposed to, I guess, have like the black hairstyles or whatever like that.
But you know, like I don't know what the backstory is as far as you know Avatar as a whole or whatever. But you know, when you do think of dishes, I mean, you don't think fair-skinned folks.
Right.
So you know, they gonna follow suit. Like you know, if I'm being honest, you know, the Navi's style or however they look, whatever, it's kind of close to like Apocalypto. So if you had to look at anything to kind of base or you know have a definitive version of what editions will look like, that's what it will look like.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's my take on it.
Yeah, interesting. Besides that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I missed. I think we should. I think we pretty much covered everything.
You know, I think we wrote it down. I mean, you know, like I said, it's definitely not a movie that, you know, you're gonna want to miss. I mean, you're gonna want to see it. Like, you know, just if you're a fan, you're just instantly gonna want to see it regardless of whatever. So, you know, like I said, definitely go out and see. You know, if you haven't watched it yet, turn this off. And I mean, we're at the end now.
I know, so if you watched
too late.
it, it's fine.
Yeah, if you watched it, you make a decision and
Right.
decide like if it's something you want to see. Because you know, like for me, I think that's probably the first time y'all seen me give a rating lower than a 7. So, you know, like and like I said, didn't hate it.
Yeah.
You know, just you know,
sure.
my thing is if I'm going out to see something, I want to see something different. That's the whole point of me seeing it. If I'm seeing the same thing, I could have just saved my money. Then.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Pretty
So
much,
you know,
yeah.
like at the end of the day or whatnot. But you know, like I said, you know, the CGI is not gonna miss. The beauty of it's not gonna miss. You're gonna enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're gonna enjoy the movie or whatever.
Right.
But you know, just you know, go in with a grain of salt. Just know that you know this is not gonna be nothing that's gonna bang out the first one. And then I mean, and then too, I'm thinking maybe since they have more to come, maybe they're reserving some things they want to put in.
Oh,
you know, out
absolutely.
there. They got to.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to keep people on the hook, you got to give them only so much.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Some of those plot holes, that's what I said, some of those plot holes, I know they're probably reserving it for the movies to come, which is why they didn't go into depth about a lot of stuff. So, yeah.
But again, we could have got this in 2011 and we would have been done now.
Yeah, we would have been done.
Yeah, we would have done that. We would have been talking to you about the whole Avatar as a whole.
Yeah.
What we thought about the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Fifth, right.
That's what we would have gave you. Yeah, I mean, if it goes up there, yeah.
Damn, we
We
probably
would've
would
been
have
right
been.
here.
Yeah, we probably would have been talking about maybe the fifth one right now.
2011, 2013, 2015. Yeah, we would have been talking about it somewhere around there. Like it probably would have finished out, but we would have been bringing it here. Like, all right, hey, that was such and such. Here you go. So that's where we would have been. So yeah. So
well, I guess we'll see. Like no one really knows if we're gonna make it to movie 5. I'm fine either way. I thought maybe he should have honestly left it at the first one because I thought it was perfect the way it was done. But I mean, I guess we'll see. I don't know.
I mean, if anything, you know that arm that got lost in this one. I mean, if you see more of that, I'm definitely down to ride for that. Like, we gonna see more of that. Like, count me in. I don't mind that. But you know.
And I think a lot of people talking about, ooh, the violence is not for kids. I'm like, bro, y'all are so sensitive. One arm cutting on some whales, a couple whales getting killed.
It wasn't
alien
even
whales.
It wasn't even crazy.
It wasn't.
Like, think of Quentin Tarantino did that same scene. That shit been spitting and splattering.
right.
Like, that was literally was PG-13.
Yeah.
That's what that was. So, like,
Yeah, I think the shock value for me was the fact that this is essentially under Disney and they showed that shit. Cause I was just like, I was waiting for a cutaway. Right. That was why I was like, oh shit.
You know what? Speaking of cutaways, like Jurassic Park got a lot of cutaways. We love Jurassic Park, but if you really look at it, like every scene somebody get killed, it's a cutaway.
It's a cutaway.
But they be fucking people up, but it's a being cutaway.
It's a lot of cutaways. And I feel like Marvel's kind of trying to get better with that. Like, even with Love and Thunder, I was surprised they showed with the gore, even though it disappeared. I was like, holy shit. But, you know, 9 times out of 10, prior, they're either going to show the shadow of some shit happening. They ain't going to show you the actual video. They're going to show the shadow of someone getting stabbed or a head getting chopped off, or they going to cut away. But maybe they just trying to get better with it, because Disney has that reputation of being cookie cutter and for kids. Mm-hmm. So I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. They need to add more to that. I was here for it. So.
Yeah. So, like, you know, like we said, definitely more to come. But, what's I had to say? Oh, yeah. So, we said this at the beginning of the show, So, this is the season finale. So,
is it episode 10?
Episode 10. Episode 10. So
I don't even feel like it.
You know, and, you know, it's funny because, you know, we had these conversations an hour long or more, and then we on to the next one. So, you know, it's, we started this season promotion, was in September, I think.
Yeah.
So, you know, here we are now, and, you know, we stretched it out. We bring y'all content. We bring you essentially, you know, like the news or whatever's hot now. So, yeah, I think we've had a good run.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of guests on, you know. Yeah, I think we've had a good run, and you know
Great
we're
run.
always posting, we're always bringing you news or whatnot,
Yeah.
and
Right there with it. Me and you sometimes both be almost
man,
posting the same
time.
shit.
So this is a dynamic that y'all need to understand. Me and Shalon both run the page for Blerd Buster,
Right.
so anything that y'all seeing, it ain't just me, it's her too.
Right.
So like you know sometimes you know I might be chilling, I get some news across my screen like oh shit me, and then she right there doing the same thing. Like,
Right.
oh, we got the same shit. Go ahead,
Right. You
know?
got it this time. You
Right.
got it. Go ahead.
It's always funny. Like
Right.
it seems like you know we're always running into the same thing because this is something we love to do. We like
Yeah.
to talk about this type of stuff,
Live
whatever.
this shit.
Like even in our last episode, again, we came with 2 of the same shirts.
Right. It's
Wasn't
again.
expecting to do
Right.
it, but we did it. You know, wasn't playing. You know, I
Right.
know a lot of people like, oh yeah, they probably just playing the word. No, we did
Right.
not. It's just
Yeah, and then
shit
I guess
happens.
all the time, damn, I wish I would got a memo. We legit did not, we coming off like bad hoes. We legit did not know. Like,
Man, we didn't know it was gonna go down like that. It was like last thing we said to each other, like, I'm gonna wear Batman. I'm gonna probably wear Batman too.
not
Without
thinking.
nothing else. Without nothing else. So I, you know, I'm coming to the door of the studio whenever she about to walk in. I'm like, damn, we got
Not
the same
again,
one
right,
on.
right,
You
not
know,
again.
but that just what's the saying? Great minds think alike. So that's
Right.
what we doing.
We just dope ass hoes.
Dope ass hoes, dope ass hoes, dope
Right.
ass people. So
Right.
we definitely glad y'all been enjoying the ride. We've been loving. We've been loving the comments. We've been loving the bad reviews, the good reviews. Like, we like it. We welcome. I hate to say it like that, but we welcome confrontation. Like,
Yeah, right,
you know,
right.
you know, if y'all got a dispute, we talk it out. Like, I
Yeah.
love having conversations with people on the pod. Like, you know,
Yeah.
oh, that's what you think about it. Why you ain't like that?
Right, right.
What made you like that?
Yeah.
Whatever. And I, you know, get you to talking or whatever. Next thing I know, you in
Right,
there. You know
right,
what I'm saying? You know,
right.
because most people I get talking, we either bring them on as guests or
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, like
yeah.
whatever have you. So like, you know, keep on bringing it here. And like I said, we got new content coming.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun-filled year next year.
Next
So
year's about to be so fun.
right. So you know, like I said in the last episode, we got Indiana Jones coming out. You got Shazam coming out. Is Guardians of the Galaxy coming out this year?
Is it?
3. If not, I know Ant-Man's coming out.
Yeah. You got Secret Invasion.
Yep, Secret Invasion's coming out. So we literally got enough content to bring y'all a whole nother season for next year. So
right.
that's the plan. So we're gonna build up. We're gonna still keep y'all posted, keep y'all up to date with the news, and you know, whatever it is that we actually start decide to kick off everything, y'all be the first to know. But you know, like I said, we're here. We love doing this, and we love bringing y'all the content. So yeah.
Great journey.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to Vince for making this platform, asking me to be a part. It's been just amazing because I always wanted to do this shit. Like, I live for this shit. Like, you know, me and him both, like, we'll send shit to each other on the deep. Yo, you saw this? Like, what you... Yo, like, just cracking the fuck up. So,
right.
I mean, just all the shows, good and bad. I mean, it's just been so fun to engage in these conversations and engage with you guys, and you know, the fact that we've been on for a few months and we already got like loyal people that comment and actually say, you know, we're like their news hub, and
Right.
you know, I think we hit like 100 followers on Instagram. It may seem small to y'all, but I think that's like a big
deal.
Yeah, big deal. Even on YouTube, we get constant people that show us love and support, and so yeah, this is beautiful, man, and I'm looking forward to next year. More guests. I'm still gonna try to get my dad on. He almost came for the last episode, and he was just like, "Well, y'all know we got a guest." I'm like, "I can ask Vince if it's cool, Dad. It's fine." Like, but he was like, "No, next time." I was like, "We gonna get you on the show." But yeah, I'm looking forward to new guests, some more guests, even past ones, and new content, and yeah. Here's the cheers to 2023. Because we won't see y'all until next year. So.
Yep, damn sure won't.
I know.
Yeah, about that.
Right. Yeah.
We had some things we was doing the works behind the scenes, but outside of that, like we won't see y'all till next year. So
unless I don't know if you wanna, because I can still try to finish Star Wars. I'm trying to. I'm trying, but yeah, we can either that or if we pop up with something. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. I'm always down for the conversation. So there's nothing to it. So you know, this is a season finale, but hey, if we decide we want to do y'all special,
Right.
yes.
A little special episode here and there.
Right, but you know, but I mean that's what we have. So you know, again, you know, it was what the holiday weekend has just passed or whatnot.
Yeah.
We're about to move into the new year, so you know, all we can say is we hope you enjoyed your holiday.
Yeah.
Cheers to the new year, and we'll see y'all the next one. So you know, Shalon, if you could, in this out.
Final closeout for season 1, episode 10. This is your co-host Shalon, and this is your guy.
K1.
Alright, and we are out, y'all. Take care, be safe, and until next year.
All right, peace. Happy New Year.